Good morning. Welcome back to Tea Time in the Life of an LDA. I'm Alberta Ortega with Legal Success in Bakersfield, California, and my fellow co-host, Mandy Flores from, get it right, Docs We Prep in Sacramento,
Docs We
California.
Prep, hello.
Yes. Welcome back to a new episode for us. Inquiring minds want to know. So, we will be discussing today the difference of having an LDA or hiring an LDA versus your normal online companies such as LegalZoom. We'll give you the ins and the outs and let you guys make the formal decisions. So, I hope everybody had a beautiful holiday and we're back to 2026 and keep watching us because we will keep presenting to you, the information that we can, and definitely send your questions in. This is actually a request from somebody that wanted. Here we go. So, welcome, Mandy. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. You cut out just a slight bit. The topic that we're touching on this topic because somebody requested us to talk about it. So that's why we're talking about it now, just to clarify.
There you go. Yes. And we took some time off during the holidays. Right? Okay. So, few questions here. And if we don't answer them in the video, you can always post them under the video and we will either answer them in the comments. We'll just come back to a whole nother segment for you guys. So you want to go ahead and get started. Okay. So the big one is human support versus the online platforms, right? As an LDA, we are human. We have emotions and we have feelings. We have compassion, right? As an online platform, you are putting the information in a computer system like a PDF document, and it goes into a team of people where they dissect the information and ultimately fill out the court documents that are required. But there's no personal connection there at all. So when you deal with an LDA, you have that one-on-one support. Should you have an additional question, you're able to reach out, and without us giving you legal advice, we can either guide you in the right direction or even provide to you factual printed information that's attorney approved, keeping you right on target of what you need to do, right? When you're dealing with like LegalZoom, which is an automated system, it has limited customer support. It has you can call in almost in the sense of a call center and get your answers that way. But that person doesn't know who you are. And that person does not understand the dynamic of your complete situation. So that is the difference of having a human support and an online platform. And Mandy will address another thing that is a big thing for us.
Thank you, Berta. A big thing is, when you hire a online platform to type your documents, it's basically being prepared with a computer system versus it being prepared based off of your particular situation and ensuring that the court local rules for your specific county is being considered. It's definitely not a one size fits all approach. And so many people think that it is, but I've had multiple customers come into me with an inch thick of documents and say, I was printed all these documents and I took them to the courthouse and they said they weren't completed right. And I answered all the questions that the company asked me and I'm still stuck at step one and I wasted my money because now I'm here with you. And then they get it done the right way because they came into a legal document preparer. So not a one size fits all approach. You have to consider the court local rules. It's a big thing. And I know all of these little companies are trying to figure it out. But ultimately, people do want that online, approach with an LDA or that in-person approach with an LDA. They want that one-on-one with somebody, right?
Yeah, that's very important. Another incident is most of your LDAs are very familiar in the county that they are filing. They understand what the clerks are asking for. They understand the procedural. As an LDA, you get to know the different incidents and how the counties want their things. Every courthouse likes it very different, right? There's Kern County, there's Sacramento, LA County. Kern County wants it filed this way. LA County wants it filed this way. You learn the adaptations of each clerk, also how their judges want things and how they're, to get things to go forward, right? When you are dealing with Legalzoom, they are not trained specifically in a general county. They are trained in California state specifics, which is amazing, right? California state specifics is what we follow. But then you have to learn your county and you have to understand, because by understanding your county, understanding their rules and their regulations and their likes and wants, you're able to avoid a lot of those rejections and also avoid the fact of multiple filings. So that is a big difference right there. So,
right. And also too, regarding the transparency about legal advice, that's a big deal, right? Legal advice, giving legal advice in our profession is a very big deal. It's like one of the main points when we meet with the customer. They will start asking legal questions one after another. And at that point in time, we have to explain to them that we don't give legal advice, that we have to clearly follow these certain rules according to the rules. And many times when people are online, they misunderstand that something that is being told to them is legal advice, and then they go and they put it in their documents, or they say things in court that they probably regret later. And so that's another thing that has definitely been a big deal with the public is, oh, I thought this, I thought that, and I thought this was legal advice because I got it off of this platform and they do legal documents. And at least with us LDAs, we are able to explain to them what legal advice is, as well as providing examples to them. Because with customers, they don't understand. You can explain something to them, they won't understand it. I'll give them examples, and then they understand it and say, oh, okay, now I understand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Especially with all the social media technology, the TikToks. There's a lot of information out there. However, it doesn't mean that it's good information.
Right.
So that is the difference, is these online platforms, they don't know that. They're trained in just what California respects and what they need. So that accountability of having your own LDA or LDA small business is, there is an accountable person, right? There is somebody being accountable, and that makes it where you have the right to reach out to somebody and tell them like, hey, what is this? Why did I receive this in the mail, right? Now, when you are dealing with a company, a multi-million-dollar company, you really think you're going to reach out to somebody and get an answer? I mean, especially with the new age of, let me push 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm still not getting a live agent, right?
Right. So, and if you do, right. And if you do, they don't know you personally. They don't remember your situation. So that's a big thing. Customers like knowing that there's a relationship there, that, okay, this LDA knows my position. We had a talk about this, right?
Yes. That's very, very, that's one of the biggest things, I think. So that's great.
Another thing that I would love to point out is the cost versus the value of these online platforms versus an LDA, legal document assistant. With an LDA, right? Where you have clear pricing. You have fewer mistakes being made because we know the court local rules. We know your particular situation. We give you personalized service, right? It's one-on-one, and we remember you. We remember the situation. These legal platforms, they just put you in a cookie cutter situation. There's more mistakes being made. There's misunderstandings because the customer doesn't really understand what they're really doing anyway when they're answering these questions online, just clicking these different boxes. And those are really big things, because that's what causes the wasteful spending of thinking that you're buying one thing, and then once you get it and you take it to the courthouse, then you're at a loss because the clerks are like, wait a minute, this is not going to suffice for our ways of doing things. And so that's a big deal. That's what causes people to return to LDAs after the fact. And Berta, you are back. You are going down a little bit. We're not done yet.
No, we're not done. So, in a sense, to wrap it all up, you guys, Legalzoom is out there. And if that is what your budget can afford, then I mean, that's great. But as LDAs, we are trained, we are educated, we have a lot of experience, and we've done all the trial and errors for you guys at this point. So our expertise helps keep the motion moving, helps you keep things. Maybe there's a question that you don't understand. And that's what we're here for, to help guide you through this. Although we don't give you legal advice, we're here to guide you.
And one more point, too, is that as an LDA, we have continuing education that we do all throughout the different months, all throughout the year, every week. I do my trainings every month. And we go to the courthouse all the time. We're very close with what the courts change when they change rules. And so we're always up to date on things. There's no delay in any updates. We're always keeping in touch with the court in terms of any changes. So when we meet with our customers, we have those changes in hand right away. And that's something that I'm afraid online platforms might not have. And if they say that they do, well, then it makes me wonder why my customers are coming to me with stacks of papers and saying, I filled out these papers, I answered a few questions with this online platform. Now the court is saying my documents are not completed correctly and I can't get my money back. There's no refunds. That's another thing. They don't have refunds available. Once you pay and once you get those documents, it's one and done.
Yes. That is very true, because I've heard that many times. And I've also heard, unfortunately, people have got, like you said, additional documents that were not required for their specific type of situation, because it is a platform of kind of one fits all. Mm-hmm. And as you know, in the legal industry, there is not one case that fits all. There is not procedure. There's not. So we are constantly adjusting and adapting to that specific situation. So as LDAs, we like to keep the cost affordable. We like to be very transparent in the beginning of you coming to us and understanding that this is what it's going to cost you, while we're going through this process. And then it goes back to the accountability too. As an accountability partner, we're able to kind of watch it, where if you go to a general company, especially like a big one as in Legalzoom, is they don't have that. It's not that they don't have the manpower, but they're not trained in following up with the courts. They're not trained in seeing what happened, why was this rejected, because they do the paperwork and they hand it back to you, and then it comes back into your hands. You go to the courthouse, you do the filing, you do, if it gets rejected, I don't think Legalzoom is going to fix it for you. I mean, unless that's something new, I never heard them do that before. As an LDA, we're usually the first ones to find out about a rejection, and we're able to fix it immediately and get it filed back so that you don't lose that time while you're trying, say, getting a divorce. Maybe you're already ready to get married again and you don't need those lags. So that is the most important thing, I think. As you come to an LDA, there is that comfort level of knowing that somebody understands what exactly you're going through and what you're trying to get through. So,
and remember, this is not to be considered legal advice. We are not attorneys. We are not law firms. We are legal document preparers. We only do the typing of your documents and filing them with the courthouse.
I love that. I love that, Mandy. That is so important because in this space, it's so easy for people to think, because we are educated and we understand that they think, oh, I can just have you tell me what to do. And they need to understand that as coming to us, we are here to type your documents, file them, and possibly serve the other party for you. And stay on top of the, ultimately, you have to understand what you're doing. You have to know what is going in your court documents, and you need to know what it is, your outcome that you are desiring, so that we can help you along the journey, but we cannot tell you what the journey is. So I hope that all this information is very helpful for you. We will keep educating you the best that we can. We will bring as much information to you without giving you legal advice. Just remember that. But we also do work with attorneys. So if you come to us and it gets to that point, I have no problem sending you to an attorney.
Yep.
So just rest assured, when you're hiring an LDA, you're in the good hands. You have some, a protection, because we're all bonded. We're registered and bonded, so you are protected. So when you're out there and you are, maneuvering that legal journey and you are looking for that person, remember, you can always check. You can either call me. I'm at Legal Success in Bakersfield, California. We cover all the state of California. Mandy is with Docs We Prep in Sacramento. And if she chooses to do the rest of the California, she can too. So that is the one good thing. We are registered in counties. However, we can cover all the state of California. And I have a tendency of doing a lot of different counties. So, but that is the good thing with us, is we're very transparent in what you're getting yourself into with us. And with our expertise, we're here to make the best that we can for your situation. And remember, always send us your messages, your questions, and what you want to see. And Mandy, you have something you want to wrap up with them?
My P's and Q's are, when you want to find that help to assist you with your legal documents, just do your thorough research, check the reviews, do, phone calls, call more than one or two people, really fill them out, make sure it's a compatible relationship, that, you feel comfortable with that person. And if you feel like you need to reach me, I'm in Sacramento, as Alberta has stated. My business name is Docs We Prep. I'm in Sacramento, and my email is mandy@docsweprep.com. My office number is 916-517-8146. If you have any questions, we're here to answer those questions for you.
And I can be reached at Legal Success, 661-230-8048, or you can email me at legalsuccess1@yahoo.com. And another tip for you guys is, we are both members of the CALDO organization, which is California for Legal Document Assistance, where they check to make sure we are registered, make sure that we are bonded, and also keep us updated with educational, to make sure that we're doing exactly what you guys need. So if you're looking for an LDA in your area, and Sacramento's a little too far, and Bakersfield's too far for you, definitely check them out, and they will have a list of LDAs that are registered and bonded. And remember, keep watching us. We'll be doing this once a week for you guys to bring all the information. We hope you guys have a beautiful, I don't even know what today is anymore.
A
Oh,
beautiful
Friday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, sorry. Because we're going to post Friday, right? Anyways, have a beautiful day, you guys, and we will talk soon.
All righty.